The Truth Girls.
Hi everyone, it's Truther Girl Sonia here. Okay, so today I want to talk about Trump's opioid plan, which could include pushing the death penalty for drug dealers. When I saw this headline, I thought, surely this must be hyperbole, but apparently not. So I saw this speech that Trump was giving, and he was saying that he had been talking to a world leader who says, they have no drug problem in this country. 1.4 billion people, no drug problem. Trump says, why not? And the leader says, because we have the death penalty. He was like, yeah, isn't that great? You know, everybody's like, oh, good idea. We want this in America. This little speech that he was giving, or the clip that I saw, it reminded me of like something from a Monty Python. And what do we do with drug dealers? Ban them! He was saying that nothing happens to you if you import drugs into America. Oh, really? I mean, this is obviously not true. And everyone behind him is like, yes, we need to do something about that. Trump had promised he was going to do something about the opioid crisis. And most of his plan looks pretty good, notably that there would be much more access to care, including that Medicaid would now pay for drug treatment, like residential drug rehab treatment, which for a long time it didn't. Apparently this goes back to the deinstitutionalization movement, but I think it's time to make some changes. So that part was good. But about this death penalty, Donald Trump says China, Singapore have death penalty for drug dealers. It's true. According to Chinese law, individuals who smuggle, traffic, transport, or manufacture drugs and meet certain conditions are to be punished with 15 years of fixed-term imprisonment, life imprisonment, or death sentence, and confiscation of their properties. But do you really want to model your legal system after communist China? It's true. China, communist China, might kill drug dealers. And, you know, in Saudi Arabia, they cut people's hands off for stealing, and they probably cut their heads off for doing drugs. But you don't want to model yourself after brutal draconian systems, do you? Because there are other systems you can model yourself after. There are countries that have taken very different, innovative approaches to their drug problems and had very good results, such as Portugal. 14 years after decriminalizing heroin, here's what Portugal looks like. Well, what it looks like is that drug use went down, drug-related crime went down, and drug-related deaths went way down. You'd think that if you were going to make heroin legal, that everybody would be like, yay, it's legal! Now I can do some heroin! Well, apparently not. Apparently decriminalizing drug use and drug possession helps solve the drug problem. The total number of people using drugs in Portugal has actually fallen by more than a third since the country began focusing on treatment programs instead of punishment. In 2001, critics worried that drug addiction rates would skyrocket, but not only have they come down, heroin addiction rates have been cut in half. Isn't that amazing? And as an extra bonus, HIV infections have been cut in half, while the number of drug-related deaths has been cut by 75%. And here's another good model for you to follow. The US can learn a lot from Zurich about how to fight its heroin crisis. Back in the 1990s, Switzerland, especially the city of Zurich, had a horrible drug problem, especially with heroin. It got so bad, it was a really big public menace. And of course, at first they tried some more punitive methods and they found that that just didn't work. So then they started to do something very different. They put everyone on a methadone substitution program, and for those for whom that didn't work, there was also a heroin substitution program. So they basically gave everybody methadone and heroin, and what happened was it put the drug dealers out of business. And they say now, these days, new heroin addicts are rare in Switzerland. Surprise, surprise, even when you can get your free heroin from the government, not that many people want it. By 1995, many of the new policies showed success. The support system for drug addicts started to work. Police, social, and medical services increasingly cooperated. Eventually, Zurich police shut down the last remaining drug camp in the heart of the city. So what happened in Switzerland was drug use went down, drug use-related deaths went down, drug use-related crime went down, and drug use-related HIV went down. The Alpine nation's experiment succeeded because Swiss political leaders adopted a pragmatic attitude towards an uncontrollable open drug scene. We had to change perspective and introduce the notion of public health. We extended a friendly hand to drug addicts and brought them out of the shadows. So you see, America, if you really want to do something about your drug problem, you can look to countries like Portugal, Switzerland, and Holland also to find a model that actually works. So let me know what you think. And thanks for giving me a thumbs up. Thank you for your support on Patreon. Thanks for listening to me, and I'll see you next time.